Good morning, thriving warriors and those who wish they were. Alexa, what is the date?
It's Wednesday, October 12th.
Good. And Alexa, what time is it?
It's 6:15 a.m. Enjoy your morning, Edward.
Thank you. And Alexa, what is the weather forecast?
Right now in Amargosa Valley, it's 56 degrees Fahrenheit with clear skies. Today's forecast has lots of sun, with a high of 89 degrees and a low of 52 degrees.
Okay. And there we have it. So it looks like we're not getting back to the 90s. We're still in the 80s. All righty then. It's Wednesday morning. We've got big things happening. People coming in from Texas. Important people coming in from Texas. All right. So I have my printed thing to read. So this is the Career Services Department of Thriving Warrior, where our job is to help you get from point A to point B, where point B is better. B is better. How do we do that? Well, we do that many ways. One way is this podcast. And contained within the podcast, there are other important links and information. For example, there is a link to our 4-week basic training course, online basic training course. There is a link to today's motivational video that I used to come up with this podcast. There is a link to the TED Talk that's associated with today in the basic training course. So this is week 1, day 3, Johan Hari, diction. There is a whole bunch of links to services we provide to our members, like for housing, clothing, food, hygiene, skills training, foundational employment, career planning, and there's also the transcript of Seth Godin's blog post. So there's a lot packed into this little 10-minute-ish, like sort of, but not really, podcast. Make sure you have a pen and paper to write things down, because if you don't write it down, you will not remember it. Every time you see something, say something, hear it, think about it, you make another copy in your brain. So it's not really good enough to just listen to this video and say it's good, it's bad, whatever, and then go on the rest of your day. You have to internalize it. You have to remember it. You have to push this from your working memory into long-term memory. Basically, these podcasts are like little breadcrumbs, bleep, 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 that we follow along the path from point A to point B. And I can promise you, if you do this stuff in good faith, you will get to point B, your point B. All right, now, what is our format? Well, our format is that little intro, our basic discussion, which is about today's motivational video, and it's under a theme of it's simple. To get from point A to point B, it's simple. You just need to pick up this breadcrumb, which today is don't play it safe. That's today's breadcrumb. Don't play it safe. But back to higher level. So it's our motivational quick little thing. Then we talk about the TED Talk. Then we talk about Seth Godin. And then we do our Navy SEAL maxim. So it's simple. Don't play it safe. Simple is not the same as easy. Just because something's simple, it doesn't mean it's easy. It's not easy to not play it safe. Why? Well, we have to get outside our comfort zone. Can't change if you stay within your comfort zone, or you can't change enough. Life is not easy. It never was, never will be, per Matthew McConaughey. Deal with it. Dedication and hard work. is what it takes to not play it safe. Just be dedicated, work hard, work like the best. So don't work like a mediocre person, work like a professional person or a good person. Prepare for the future. So that's what you're doing when you don't play it safe. You're preparing for the future, and hopefully it's a good future, a better future, a point B future. And then as President Obama said in this one, there's no excuse for not trying. And when you try, commit to it. And finally, another great thought is you can consider your circumstances to be a prison or a portal. Okay, so it's uncomfortable, life sucks, it's hard, it's complex, it's uncertain. There's a lot of VUCA in life. You can view your life as a prison or a portal. So same circumstances, but you can see it as a prison or a portal. A prison keeps you where you are. Think about it. What does a prison do? It keeps you where you are. Or it can be a portal, which leads to some place greater. If you reframe the struggles in your life from being a prison to a portal, you can see that the hardships you overcome, that you don't play it safe, the hardships that you overcome actually make you better, because the world isn't going to get easier. Okay, cool, TED Talk. Johann Hari, everything we think we know about addiction is wrong. Yesterday's TED Talk was Jordan Peterson about IQ. The takeaway was every job has an IQ range. Every job has an IQ range. Working in a Panera IQ range. If your IQ is too low, the job is going to be really, really hard, and your coworkers are going to think of you as a moron, somebody that's always going to screw up. If your IQ is too high, the job is boring, and your coworkers look like morons. If your IQ is above the IQ range, you're going to have ideas on how to make the job better, but your boss isn't going to like it. And your ideas are for people who have a higher IQ, so they can't be implemented anyway. So all of these things mean change your job. If your IQ is too low, if your IQ is too high, or if it's way above it, you need to change the job because it won't be sustainable. And then your view of life will be not good. And instead of getting from point A to point B, you'll just keep traveling along, circling around point A, or maybe it'll get worse. So you need to know your IQ and know the IQ range of the job you're looking for, and your IQ should be in the top 25%. If it's at 50%, you're just an employee. You're not good, you're not bad, you have nothing to distinguish you from anything else, from a chair, a table, a meat cutting machine, whatever. So you want to be in the top 25% so that it's still challenging. It's not boring, but you have a level of mastery so you can progress to get a promotion and move into a task that requires a higher IQ, and then higher IQ and higher IQ at the same company. So that's yesterday. Today, Johann Hari, everything we think we know about addiction is wrong. We think that it has to do with chemical hooks, that there's something in the drug that controls our brain. And Johann Hari effectively demonstrates that no, it's not that. It's actually that we don't have good connections with people. So we have these chemicals in our brain, neurotransmitters, hormones, that get us to want to do things. Addiction is related to large amounts of dopamine. When your dopamine is focused on an activity, let's say alcohol, whenever you see, think of, smell, taste, touch, whatever, alcohol, massive release of dopamine, which makes you want more alcohol. Because your system wants to make you happy, to get you to do things. So Johann Hari says it's the opposite of addiction is not sobriety, it is connection. You need to develop good social connections with other people. And that's supported by the pre-fMRI approach of AA type programs, that when you feel like giving into your compulsion, into your addiction, that you call somebody or you attend a meeting, which releases oxytocin, different neurotransmitter. Okay, so this is a great TED Talk. And the experts often say, or many of the experts, many of the real experts say, this guy nailed it. All righty then, onward and upward to Seth Godin. Let's see, is anybody out there? Jeff Morgan is out there, and Diana is out there. Good morning. Good morning. Diana is going to be coming here at the end of the month. Stay for a couple months, November, December, before going back to her job in January. So thank you for that, Diana. Boom. And Jeff, good to see you there. Hope all is well. We have our mission for today. But now we're going back to Seth Godin, who's going to have a chat about what? I don't know what. The uncanny valley of scale. Big companies act like big companies. We don't take them seriously when they say they care, because there is no they. When they send a holiday card or an email, we don't really think it was from a person we could connect with. Individuals act like individuals. When they write us a note or show up in person, we know that we're dealing with a human. In between, though, problems arise. So you have companies that are they, you have humans. That email that you got, BCC, when you hit reply, will it go to the person who purported to send it, or to a team, or the infinite void? The voice in our head changes when the identity of the sender differs. So if you think it's from a person, a human, the voice in your head treats it differently than if it's from one of the unknown they who roam the world. When individuals try to scale, they often think they can bring their care, personality, and personhood along for the ride. And inevitably, it ends up disappointing everyone. Excuse me. It's possible you can trick us for a while, but if you succeed in persuading us that you're a real person, we'll feel tricked sooner or later. If it's not from you, say so. Okay, if it's not from you, say so. That's the uncanny valley of scale. Once you get big, people treat you as if you're a they, the unknown people, the unknown who roam the world. Okay, thank you, Seth Godin. We are at, 1332. Pretty good, pretty good. I wonder if Charlene is out there. Charlene, are you there? Okay, so Charlene is in Camp Rain Man, helping with things there, driving people to appointments and things, trying to be helpful, courteous. This morning, going to wake up Sayer, who was up. Good job, Sayer, if you're listening to this. And our Navy SEAL Maxim, which is what? Yesterday was the only easy day. Speaking of Navy SEAL Maxims, we have an actual Navy SEAL coming up. Maybe tomorrow I will get him on video. Maybe tomorrow we'll have an interview. Yeah, cool. That's what we'll do. We'll set that up. Yeah, boom. Good idea. Navy SEAL Maxim, though, yesterday was the only easy day. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. How do I make yesterday the only easy day? One way is to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Another way is to not compare myself to someone else, but compare myself to who I was yesterday. 3, have a goal. That will help. Once I have a goal, I'm going to push towards that goal, and I'm going to keep doing it. So yesterday could be the only easy day. And of course, be more samurai. So getting comfortable being uncomfortable. How do I do that? How do I get comfortable being uncomfortable? Because that kind of sucks. I can embrace the suck. Wow, what a concept. I can choose the hard path. So when given choices, I can choose to have humility versus ego versus pride. I had somebody exit yesterday because of a false pride that's not substantiated by any current value. Do I get to say 25 years ago? No. 50 years ago, 53 years ago, I was the Little League home run champion. You need to view me as a home run champion. I got an award, and I have a whole bunch of trophies for what I did when I was younger. No, people judge you by who you are today, especially if they didn't know you then. So somebody carried around a false pride from more than 25 years ago, maybe closer to 30 years ago, and their pride got in the way of getting from point A to point B. So they decided to cling to their past, cling to the pride of who they were rather than accept who they are and attempt to become and focus on commit to who they need to become. So that's a sad day when people tap out, when they DOR, they pick up the bat, they ring the bell. It's a sad day to do that. But so we can acknowledge the sadness, and we have to move on into our future because it is a portal. Okay, so we can humility, hard work, taking ownership, taking responsibility, having discipline, and sacrifice for others. And we can accept the struggle. Okay, so with that, we are now at 1731, and I guess it's time to say and cut.